Please rise and join us in respectful silence for the presentation of the colors by the UNLV Air Force and Army ROTC Honor Guard, and for the singing of our national anthem.
Forward. Outside. Out. Color guard. Out. Left. Face. Present. Arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, where the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Present. Arms. Order. Arms. Right. Face. Forward. March. Left. Face. Forward. March.
Thank you to Perry Chacon, doctoral student in our School of Music, for that beautiful rendition. And please be seated. I'm Doug Unger, professor of English and chair of the UNLV Faculty Senate. Welcome to Nevada Board of Regents Chair Kevin Page, Regent Carol Del Carlo, Regent Sam Lieberman, Regent Anthony Williams, and to Chancellor Tom Riley and Chief of Staff Michael Flores of the Nevada System of Higher Education. Welcome to our distinguished guests and community members. Welcome to students and faculty to the State of University address at UNLV in this, our 61st year. UNLV has experienced unsettling times. 5 presidents in a decade, and an unexpected, upsetting loss of our leader last spring. As one colleague put it, it felt like our whole fishbowl was shaken. By now, it seems remarkable that the waters have settled as much as they have, but maybe it's not so remarkable, because at UNLV, we know who we are. From this instability at the top, we're becoming a much more faculty-guided university. Our good administrators and faculty have set our priorities, and we keep doing what we do no matter what, striving for excellence in teaching, research, and the arts. We ask of our state, our community, and especially of our generous donors to keep supporting us in this spirit, and even more so than before, so we can focus on our mission and grow toward our goals, because we truly are a wellspring of opportunity for our students. It's our collective responsibility to empower them and to learn from them as they learn from us, and to keep doing what good teachers do every day that's immeasurable, as in Wordsworth, those little nameless, unremembered acts of kindness and of love. Today, we are sincerely grateful for the new leader chosen for us. That she has agreed to take on this demanding service and accept such a challenge is a gift, because she's one of us, an admired colleague from our faculty. Born in Spain, raised there and in Canada, she earned her PhD at one of the most prestigious schools in North America, McGill University. Since bringing her unique international experience to UNLV 21 years ago, she has won just about every teaching award our university can bestow. And her research in clinical psychology exemplifies what it is to commit to top-tier goals. Her work honored by the James McCowa Award for Outstanding Contributions in Psychology, and the Masters and Johnson Lifetime Achievement Award in her field of human sexuality. As Dean of the Honors College, she inspired innovations that have become models. She's a builder, a strategic thinker, someone who sees the vast potential of UNLV and what we can achieve if we all pull together. She's led us for 2.5 months already in exceptional ways. I've been privileged to see this up close. As a chief executive, yes, but moreover as a healer, trained in a healing profession, someone who with sensitivity and heart knows how to calm the waters and chart a course. She is exactly the leader we need at this time in the life of our university. Please join me in thanking and then welcoming the acting president of UNLV, Dr. Marta Meana.
Thank you. You can't do that to me. Thank you very much. Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. Buenas tardes, and welcome to the State of the University Address. Thank you, really, for being here. It is an honor to stand in front of you today as the acting president of UNLV. You know, when you become president of a university, you can anticipate many parts of the job, but you also have to do things you never could have imagined. And you lose the power to delete bad photos. But let's get serious. The state of the university is, always has been, and always will be the state of what you all do. You are the brain, heart, and soul of this institution, and so the state of this university is strong. We are the educational, cultural, and research hub of the most enterprising city anywhere, and it's because of you and what you do every day to accomplish our goals. When I interviewed at UNLV 21 years ago, I had 2 other tenure-track offers in hand from significantly more established institutions. I almost canceled my appointment the night before, but my dad wisely convinced me not to decline what I had not yet seen and what I did not yet know. As soon as I walked on campus, I fell in love with this university. It exuded opportunity and potential. It was not pretentious or set in its ways. The research turf had not been cut out and claimed. It was future-oriented. These attributes are as true today as they were back then, and I would argue maybe even more. And the last 2 decades are proof positive of how much we can accomplish with the purpose, the will, and the vision. No, we are not a conventional institution. We are the most diverse university in the nation. We are today what the nation will be in 2030, so we have a unique opportunity to show leadership, to lead in the generation of knowledge that solves current societal dilemmas, to lead in the creativity that emanates from the meeting of different cultures and ethnicities, to lead in the education of a first-generation college population that in some ways has as much to teach us as we have to teach them. In my first semester at UNLV, the late Dr. Charles Rasmussen, then chair of the Department of Psychology, called me into his office one day when I was manically running around setting up my lab. He had noted my single-minded focus on research, and although he thought this was terrific, he had some words of wisdom that I carry to this day. He said, "There is a chance that your research will change lives, and I hope it does. But there is a certainty that your teaching will. One day you will be sitting at a restaurant and an ex-student you don't even recognize or remember will tap you on the shoulder and thank you for changing the course of their life for the better." I have never forgotten that, and we can never forget that students need to be at the center of what we do, both in our teaching and in our research. And now I want to share a few stories that illustrate how amazing our students are, and the impact that they are in fact having because of your contribution, because of your hard work. Sophomore Mary Blankenship had what you might call a non-traditional summer break. Mary spent the month of June assisting Brookings Senior Fellow Carol Graham, researching the effect mass tragedies have on a population. Then, Mary joined UNLV chemistry professor Clemens Heskey at a conference in France to deliver a presentation on her research in his lab. Not done. While still in Europe, Mary wrote a reflection piece on globalism that was published in the Las Vegas Sun. Mary Blankenship's experience may not be a typical summer for most sophomores, but it's not unique at UNLV. We have highly motivated and engaged students. Then there's Kevin Ashey, another phenomenal student. Kevin is an aspiring physician, co-founder of UNLV's Latino Pre-Med Student Association, undergraduate researcher, and volunteer. His mission to solve global public health challenges is a path paved through life experiences, hard work, and a philosophy built on taking chances. As an American child growing up in rural Mexico, Kevin's experience with healthcare was simple. You only go to the doctor when you're really, really sick. His life and career aspiration crystallized when he moved with his parents to Las Vegas 8 years ago, and he saw how preventive health care can improve a person's quality of life. It was then that Kevin set his sights on a career dedicated to helping underserved people and to increasing the availability of health care around the world. Kevin spent the summer in Peru as part of Harvard University's multidisciplinary international research training program. He expects to graduate from UNLV in December and is interviewing with medical schools to fulfill his dream. Now, our alumni also have remarkable and moving stories. If you arrived earlier, you saw some of their comments shared on the screen behind me before the formal program began. I do want to highlight just a couple of individuals. The first alumna is Carrie Santana, a 2013 graduate from the Lee Business School who majored both in international business and marketing.
Hi, I'm Carrie Santana, and I'm part of the team here at the Smith Center. I am the Assistant Manager of Corporate Partners, and I graduated from UNLV in 2013. I decided to double major in marketing predominantly because of a professor that completely changed the game for me. Dr. Angela Christian. It may be hard to believe, but I used to be really shy, at least in new spaces. I think I really came alive when I started taking her course in particular. because she came off so authentic, and she really had a genuine need to help her students grow and understand the subject matter. It was really powerful just to see a woman, a brown woman, be so knowledgeable about something that I had no idea about, but I wanted to be involved in. So she kind of opened the gateway for me to be in the marketing space. Now I know that my voice is important, and I know that my skill sets are valid, and what I have to say can really impact this community and the other projects that I work on. I guess I didn't really understand and appreciate what the city had to offer when I was young, as I was growing up in an immigrant household. I feel like UNLV made me love Las Vegas. Before that, I didn't really know if I would stay here as an adult, if I would be part of this community moving forward, but UNLV opened a community for me. And UNLV is a second home to me. I love that place. I want faculty to know that your work matters. Everything that you do in some level impacts a student's life. This is that time when a student is in college, there's so many things changing. They change majors, they change living situations, they're growing into their adulthood, and being people in their life at that point is so integral and really can be a game changer to where they go in the future. Now I'm in thrive mode. I know that there's something much more, there's bigger than what I anticipated my life to be, because I have that educational backbone, because I have that network of professors and friends that I've made at UNLV and previous colleagues who continue to help me move forward. So there's that saying that says your network is your net worth. And I would not be where I am today, and I would not see myself as who I am, colorful, vibrant, passionate, if it wasn't for the network of people who helped guide me through this journey of life.
Carrie, Santana, and many others are embodiments of why you are the you in UNLV and why the state of our university is so strong. It is because of what you do every day. It is your work as classified staff, administrative faculty, educators, scholars, researchers, and artists. You keep our vision and you keep our mission alive day in and day out. We are a growing university with tremendous aspirations, so it's natural to have growing pains. We need to navigate those growing pains and remember that they are the result of trying to do amazing things and elevating this university to even greater heights. We need to be proactive and strategic, but we also need to be kind and patient when there are bumps along the way, and there will be, we know that. I also know that the past year has not been an easy one. It has been a tumultuous period, and leadership transitions are always necessarily unsettling. And yet through it all, we find a way to continue to rise and power forward as an institution. Just think of how far we've come in the last 20 years alone against some incredible odds. We've opened an outstanding law school and 3 health sciences schools, a school of dental medicine, a medical school, and a school of community health. We continue to enhance and grow our longstanding colleges, schools, and programs, all of which make the UNLV the university of choice for 30,000 plus students. Not too many institutions have accomplished what we have so quickly. It is a testament to the commitment and passion of faculty, staff, students, alumni, and our very generous donors. And October 1 represents the 1-year anniversary of a tragedy that indelibly marked us. Through the horror of that night and the difficult days that followed, I was as heartbroken as all of you, but also so proud of how we responded. It clearly reflected so much of who we are. The outpouring of generosity and love by our university was breathtaking. Our connection to this community we love was on full display. And this October 1, we will have an artistic remembrance ceremony at the Cohen Theater in the Student Union. I hope you can join us for the event, as well as for a panel discussion hosted by University Library's Special Collections and Archives on October 5th. For more than 6 decades, the mission of UNLV has remained steadfast. Create meaningful, transformative experiences for our students to prepare them for highly successful and socially impactful lives. It's about generating knowledge that targets real-world problems, and it's about producing cultural products that deepen our connection to each other and to the human condition. It's about being engaged and responsive to our community and its needs. And it's about raising our expectations and then rising to that challenge. When I accepted the job as acting president, I did so with the understanding that I would not be a seat warmer. We are not going to stand still. That is not who I am, and that is not what UNLV is. Our entire history has been about forging ahead when others thought we could not and would not succeed. I am betting on our community, our faculty, our staff, and our students. I am betting on the momentum that makes me so proud to be a part of UNLV. Together, we will continue our work toward becoming nationally recognized as a top public university in research, education, and community impact. And to help us achieve top-tier status, we will embark on a resource mapping exercise this academic year. This will clearly identify the resources we need to achieve our strategic goals and create a transparent business model to specify revenue sharing, identify personnel and space needs, and establish priorities. And student success absolutely has to continue to be at the center of this top-tier effort. Sometimes the focus on student success is interpreted as a pivot away from the research mission, but it's so not. The student and research missions must coexist for us to thrive. A very high or R1 research university requires higher retention and graduation rates. And there is no university that excels in high-level research whose students are not an integral part of that research mission. The fact that we have a high percentage of first-generation students and students who struggle financially cannot be the explanation for our graduation and retention rates, but rather it must be the motivating force for raising them. Let's become a leader in changing the national story of socioeconomic status being the biggest predictor of college success. Let's change that here at UNLV. We need to target every aspect of student achievement, from how and what students are learning, to the course sequences they are taking, and the teaching methods being used, to their co-curricular activities. Let's problem solve their barriers, financial and otherwise. We know it's doable. Here are just some examples of how we are working on this to great effect. The Center for Academic Enrichment and Outreach at UNLV coordinates the nation's largest set of federally funded student services programs designed to motivate and support students from disadvantaged backgrounds. Since receiving its first federal grant in the late 1960s, the UNLV Center has increased the number of participants it serves from 50 to an astounding 25,000 annually. The UNLV Hope Scholars Program is another example of how we can lift disadvantaged students in Southern Nevada. Now in its 3rd year, the program is a partnership among the Clark County School District, Nevada Partnership for Homeless Youth, and UNLV to assist unaccompanied homeless youth in securing year-round housing and providing academic and financial support while attending UNLV. We are also proud to be participating in the NSHE-wide Foster Youth Waiver Program that aims to facilitate college for this population, both financially and again with advising support. NSHE and its member institutions, and that's us, will also be partnering with MGM to facilitate no-cost online degrees for their employees. The Academic Success Center celebrates its 10th anniversary this year and is a campus-wide partner and resource for all UNLV students. The center also works closely with our student athletes and is primarily why UNLV Athletics posted its highest collective semester grade point average in history at 3.03 during the 2018 spring semester. The overall graduation success rate of student athletes at UNLV is 76%, and how cool is that? On a side note, I also want to take this time to thank Boyd Gaming Corporation for its $5 million gift to UNLV Athletics announced last week. Boyd Gaming, Bill Boyd, and the Boyd family have been longtime advocates and supporters of UNLV. We are most grateful for their generosity over the years, as well as the generosity of all of our donors and the multiple programs they support, including the UNLV School of Medicine's since its inception. We're also really happy about the inauguration of our Staff Enrichment Awards established this year. Through this program, classified staff will be able to get grant and aid for themselves and their families to pursue a college education. We already have 34 individuals who have taken advantage of this opportunity, and we expect that number to grow substantially. And we are equally proud of our commitment to be a military-friendly campus. UNLV's Rebel Vets were recognized earlier this year as one of the nation's top student veteran chapters in the country out of more than 1,500 groups. We welcome 200 new students with military ties to campus this fall, joining a community of more than 1,850 at UNLV. We are proud to be serving those who serve. The safety of our campus continues to be a priority, and we are refining processes and policies, as well as beefing up security in certain areas, all the while maintaining the welcoming nature of our beautiful public spaces. A special shout out to Assistant Chiefs of Police Sandy Seda and Jeff Green and our Emergency Manager Yuri Graves for all of their continuing hard work on this. So collectively, UNLV has nearly 120,000 students who have earned their degrees at the university. And one of those alumni is Vu Tran, who earned his PhD in English in 2006 through the Glenn Schaefer Fellowship. He was one of the first luminaries of what would become UNLV's jewel, the Black Mountain Institute. He's now an acclaimed writer and a faculty member at the University of Chicago.
My name is Vu Tran. I teach mainly fiction writing, and I am director of undergraduate studies. So we just started a major in creative writing. Well, Doug Unger called me in spring of 2003 to inform me that I had gotten this very generous fellowship at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, to come there and get my PhD. I remember, I mentioned to him that I had read a story that he just published in the Iowa Review, I believe, and I remember him talking about it with a kind of sincerity and genuineness that I really liked. And I felt that I immediately could trust him as a person. Well, basically, I came to UNLV with a book of short stories. It failed twice to sell, and this was a process of 2 years, and it was incredibly difficult. It really made me confront failure in a way I'd never confronted in my life. And so it was terribly difficult, heartbreaking, actually. But throughout that process, Doug was a person who really helped me navigate that experience, both professionally and emotionally even. I've realized over the years that, writing, like any artistic endeavor, is both an artistic development but also an emotional development. So it's a kind of journey in that sense. And the best mentors help you draw the contours of that journey. They offer you signposts and warnings and assurances based on their own experience. And that helps you find your way. And that's what Doug gave me, with the kind of sincerity and emotional understanding that just made it easier and made it worth going through. I really learned and matured as a person through that process. And I eventually sold my book while I was teaching at UNLV. I think Doug's most significant lesson for me was that he never treated students just as students. He treated them as human beings. And you can feel that. And that's a lesson that I've really carried with me, that students are not just there for you to teach them things, that you can learn from them and that you can share with them your own, not just professional, but personal experience. That kind of human interaction is crucial. If you show people respect and kindness and support without expecting too much in return, that inevitably people will show you the same kind of respect and support and kindness. And I felt like that was my relationship with UNLV, and it's a relationship that I try to foster with everyone, whether it's here at the University of Chicago or elsewhere. I think it's really as simple as that.
Tran is an example of the many students whose lives have been changed because of their experience at UNLV. Now, research success must be on a parallel path with student success. This summer, the Gardner Company, UNLV, and the UNLV Research Foundation broke ground on a 4-story innovation building at the Harry Reid Research and Technology Park. That's where I was wearing the hat. It will host a business incubator that will stimulate early-stage technologies and companies to develop life-changing products and services. The research park is expected to generate 25,000 jobs and a $2.6 billion total economic impact when fully built out. And a new partnership between UNLV and the Desert Research Institute will enhance Nevada scientists' ability to commercialize their discoveries. The UNLV Office of Technology Transfer will work with researchers from both institutions to navigate the pathway from invention to marketable products. And I'm very excited about this part, is that we're doing the same thing with students as we launch our first Student Entrepreneurship and Commercialization Center, which will help students bring their innovations to market. The National Institutes of Health, or NIH, awarded an $11.4 million grant to UNLV's Nevada Institute of Personalized Medicine and Dr. Marty Schiller. This will create mentorship pipelines and support research to identify how a person's unique genetic makeup may provide a blueprint for effective treatment and disease prevention. NIH also renewed a $20.3 million grant for the Clinical Translational Research Infrastructure Network, which is a collaboration of 13 universities in the Mountain West region that UNLV School of Medicine Vice Dean Dr. Parvesh Kumar leads to improve the health of residents. Psychology professor Rochelle Hines led a group of neuroscientists in a new study that reveals clues to understanding epilepsy and other neurological disorders. The findings culminate 6 years of work and may change the way scientists and researchers analyze and treat epilepsy. Now, community partnerships are vital to our long-term success, and they exist in almost every program on campus. We must be fully integrated in the community and have a seat at the table for strategic conversations that shape the direction of Southern Nevada and of this state. One example of community partnerships is the Boyd School of Law, which is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year and welcomes its largest full-time entering class of 158 students this fall, with more than 2,300 alumni. More pointedly, though, their immigration clinic offers law students real-world experience and is a community leader in protecting children and families in Nevada. And just last month, the National Council of Juvenile and Family Court Judges recognized the clinic and the Edward M. Bernstein and Associates Children's Rights Program with the 2018 Innovator of the Year Award. That's a true example of making a difference in our community. And there are others. The College of Education welcomes its first cohort of 10 fellows to the Nevada Institute on Teaching and Educator Preparation this fall. The program was established during the 2017 legislative session to recruit, educate, and train future teachers using extensive research. Also this fall, the college has awarded 50 Teach Nevada scholarships to students who, upon graduation, will serve high-need schools in the state. This summer, we were also delighted to welcome our second class to the UNLV School of Medicine, of which we are so proud. These students have incredibly high credentials, beat all records in terms of diversity for entering medical school classes, and are all either Nevada residents or have close ties to our state. And I tell you, when they start graduating, it will transform healthcare in the region. And next month, UNLV premieres State of Grace, an opera featuring an all-student, mostly female cast, composed by UNLV's Director of Opera, Linda Lister. A portion of the ticket sales will benefit Stand Up to Cancer, a nonprofit organization that enables scientific breakthroughs in cancer research and treatment, and is supported by partners in the entertainment community. All of these are examples of how UNLV is fulfilling its mission through research, scholarship, creative activity, education, and community impact. We have much to be proud of and so much more to accomplish together. In our future are a number of capital improvement projects, including a medical education building, an engineering building to service one of the fastest growing colleges on campus, and an interdisciplinary research building that will create classrooms and lab spaces that promote interdisciplinary collaboration. We continue our planning and research for a capital campaign to supplement resources for these academic and building developments. And we are going through a cost-benefit analysis to explore the possibility of expanding the student union. And by the end of this year, Swenson Street will become University Center Drive from the airport to Desert Inn Road. We also have added more than 100 new academic faculty since last summer, welcomed 30,000 plus new and returning students this fall, and are introducing new academic programs. 3 of these are a doctorate in public policy in the Greenspun College of Urban Affairs and a Master of Fine Arts and PhD in literary nonfiction in the English Department's Creative Writing International program. This is just a sampling of the incredible developments at UNLV. Out of necessity, I have to leave out so many wonderful accomplishments lest I keep you here all day. The point is that the work we do at UNLV could not be more meaningful. You make a difference every day, and not everyone can say that about their work. We are all so privileged to spend our lives and earn our living trying to make our city, our state, and the world a better place. It is not always easy, and there will be challenges. But the purpose is so clear and really so pure. And for 21 years, I have seen you come at it with the tenacity, resilience, and passion that is synonymous with UNLV. So yes, the state of our university is indeed strong, and it's strong because of you and because of what you do. You are the you in UNLV, regardless of who's wearing the hard hat. Gracias. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.